And we are live.
Welcome, YouTube, both live and on the replay. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
You are
Anthony.
I am Daddy. The rest of the world knows me as Jay.
I'll go fix that.
The kid's going to take care of a little technical difficulty because I'm, of course, either in feedback as my speaker's up with a little browser there. I apologize for the technical difficulty. We have some guests, though. Stephen Andie joining us from a town we're hoping to get to as well, the home of Minor League Baseball's Asheville Tourists. And you two, that's what you do, as well as anyone out there. You two have a fantastic travel, music channel, and more. Tell us what you're about.
Thank you. Well, I mean, primarily we are about travel. We're about getting out there, having experiences, kind of breaking those preconceived notions. We've been doing that as we traveled the U.S. during the last couple of years. And of course, you know, before all of this, before the channel, before you know what, we both worked in the entertainment industry. And so a massive area of interest for us is music. Stephen's a professional musician. So whenever we can combine travel with music, that's our happy place.
Yeah.
That is going to be, in fact, two of the wheelhouses along with some of our wheelhouses.
Yes.
As we get into our top 5 lives with this live discussion. We want to say hi to Tamsin. Thanks for popping in. Want to say hi to Dave and Kathy. Hi, thank you for popping in as well. We are going to give you our top 5s on these particular subjects that we're going to bring up. Later, you are going to see
Nick, or as you all know him,
Nick the legend. We'll get very sportsy with him by far.
Yes.
But we want to bring up topics that are going to exude conversation from all of us and experiences that are in our wheelhouse. We're a sports, travel, and food wheelhouse. You're a travel and music wheelhouse. We got a little bit of bleeding between each other, bleed over with what we do wonderfully. So I think we're going to enter some different top 5 discussions. Each of you have been asked to sort of bring a topic to the house. Tell you what, why don't we have one of you bring one of yours in? And we definitely want everyone's feedback from all our viewers as well as we discuss it. So, Stephen and Andy, you got the floor.
You want to start?
Yeah. I was thinking top 5 road trip playlist songs.
Ooh.
And this actually comes from the fact that we are at the very end of National Parks Week. And as you know, national parks are a big destination for road trips. So hopefully a lot of people have been enjoying road trips this week or planning some for the summer to national parks.
Yeah.
Quick plug, you two have a bunch of them on your channel.
We do have several on our channel, yeah, and we hope to get several more before
Yeah.
too much longer. So there's some big ones that we haven't seen yet, but we've been to the Grand Canyon and Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky. That was amazing. Joshua Tree, and that was my first time camping, so that was fun.
That was great. Car camping with our dogs.
Yeah, with our dogs. That was a good time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Why don't you pull out your top 5s? We want our viewers to put in theirs from the national parks they've been to that they love.
We need some recommendations for our next road trip, so
yeah,
definitely get in there. Give us some.
All right, let's go. Bring it.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk songs, not so much national parks.
That's right. That'll be later. Let's talk songs first.
Yeah. One I know you'd be really into, Jay, is the Allman Brothers. Not so much an Andy thing, but if I was on my own road trip, I would be jamming the whole album. But
we do have to play each other's music, you know, get a nice mix in there so everybody's happy.
Yeah, this
Are you familiar with the Allman Brothers?
I think so.
I've given him a little bit of an education on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be an acquired taste for you, but
it's definitely older.
Yeah, Whip and Post. That's like a go-to one for me. It's one of the most popular ones, which I don't always go for, but that one is just classic.
Now, I have to ask.
It'll take you a good 10 minutes. So,
yeah, is it the original version just on their LP, or is it one of the 20 or 30-minute versions that they've done live?
Most specifically, the one on Fillmore East. I forget how long that one is, but that's like the classic.
Outstanding pick.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Fillmore East?
No.
For Anthony and for our viewers who don't know, it was a club in New York, and Stephen, you can probably school me on knowledge even beyond this, but it was a nightclub in New York and a theater in New York where some of the best musicians, especially throughout the 60s going into the early 70s played at. Everyone who was everyone played there. And in this particular album, I think it was 2 different nights, Stephen, was it?
I think so.
They played back-to-back nights. The show started at 10 o'clock at night, ended at like 5 in the morning. I mean, they had to be drinking a lot of coffee
Yeah.
to keep
Well, they were
going,
definitely
shall we
drinking
say.
something.
Yeah.
But
Yet
that
the album's
Go ahead.
only about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So-
but that concert is legendary, Steve.
oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And fun fact, I share a birthday with Dwayne Allman. Rest in peace.
Ooh, they're
That's
world
one of my
class
big
guitars.
calling cards. Yeah, just amazing.
So number 2.
Number 2, these are not necessarily in any particular order, but there's an artist, a woman called LP, right?
She's awesome.
She's amazing. You might want to check her out. I think you'll dig this song. It's called Lost on You.
It's
Lost
hard
on
for
You.
me.
I'm adding it to the notes.
Andy turned me on to this one. Yeah, it's not necessarily a peppy song, but it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She's she built her career as a songwriter, and so she worked on songs for like Beyonce and other major artists, and then
Oh, wow.
she finally started recording some stuff herself. So
Yeah,
Nice.
she's from New York, by the way.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
great. Sorry, I can't read my own notes. Oh, Sia. Are you familiar with Sia? You probably know the song Chandeliers. It's massive.
I've heard it. I'm sure you probably have even
I
more.
probably
I'm
have, but
guessing.
I'm just not remembering it because I have Saturday morning.
Saturday
Yeah.
morning greatest
we
hits.
need to get into more top 40, I think.
Yeah. No, you'd probably know it if you heard it, but
Yeah.
she did a project with 2 other artists, Labyrinth and Diplo. So
Mm.
I had never heard of them either until they teamed up with her, but it's a great album. And one of the songs on that one is called Genius.
It's a fun song.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's really fun. I mean, I kind of like anything she does, but that project in particular is really, really cool. So you could probably pull anything off that album and enjoy it, but Genius is great. It's really fun, like she said.
What kind of vibes do these songs give you when you're blasting them on the speakers?
I don't know. She always just strikes me as really different, and this project that she does is even more different than. It still sounds like her, but it's just, I don't know, it's really different. It's got a totally different vibe, kind of eclectic. It's hard to put a label on it. Like, I wouldn't just say pop, you know?
But it is pop.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
overall, it's pop.
Nice. Taking notes.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Another band of mine that's a favorite, a band called Supergrass. They're
Mm.
from the UK. They came out in the 90s. They've kind of recently got back together for a reunion tour.
You will know their songs.
Yeah, there's one song in particular. It's called All Right, which you've probably heard in a bunch of TV commercials.
I'm pretty sure it's been used in pharmaceutical commercials.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Showing, people who are like getting over whatever ailment while they
Nice.
dance into
Or,
the
like,
song or something.
during the portions of commercials like where they list all the different factors that don't take this with this. And
Yeah.
I've
All
seen
the
that a
wonderful
bunch of times
service.
on commercials.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'd
That's
probably
awesome.
know it by the piano. It's in so many commercials, but great band. I could listen to anything by them anytime.
We do listen to
Nice.
a lot of their stuff on our road trips for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else do I got? Oh, Alt J. This band Andy turned me on to.
They are my favorite band.
And
I adore them.
Alt J, like the keyboard shortcut.
Yeah.
Another like super unique. I couldn't even really describe them. You
Oh.
might be able to better, but they're so unique, like nothing else.
He hated them. I was a fan for years and he
Yeah.
was not into it. He just wasn't getting it. And then finally one year, I saw they were headlining the Hollywood Bowl and I really wanted to get tickets. And I was like, please come with me, please.
Aw,
Just come see
nice.
them." And he gave in and he agreed to go see them with me. And I think from the first song, he was just like, oh, I get it. Like seeing them live, he was just like, okay, now I get it. I'm a fan. So
Yeah,
Nice.
and it's not that they sounded that much different live. I mean, it's just for some reason it just finally connected with me, and I was like, wow, I was so wrong. Like she tried to tell me for probably a couple years, and I was just like, yeah, I just don't care. I don't get it, And
I think he thought a lot of it was programmed because there's a lot of percussion going on in their
Sure.
songs. And so I think he thought a lot of it was like programmed where he, especially being a drummer, loves his live drums, live musicians, that sort of thing. And so when he saw that the drummer had a kit that was an acoustic kit paired with an electronic kit, paired and like surrounded by all the percussion instruments as well, and he was playing everything live. That's when he was like, oh, okay, this guy's for real.
His kit was like nothing I ever saw before, and his playing is really unique. And he's playing everything just like the record, where I realized what's on the record is probably programmed, but he's doing it all live. It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah. That is hard. Now you see sometimes the things I suggest when it comes to food or other things that you're like, I'm not going to like that. And you like it?
And yeah, sometimes I do like it.
It works that way with food. It works that way with music.
Yeah.
Right?
It's always fun watching you try new foods.
We love seeing your reactions to that.
Yeah, way to work on him, Andy. Way to work on him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's all I got for songs, right? Is
that your 5?
Yeah, it's my 5.
That's your top 5. All right.
Let's see. You got your top 5 songs for road trips?
No.
You don't. Well, let's come up with something.
Okay, I gotta think about this.
And I'll preface this that our road trips typically involve baseball. I will be upfront with you.
Oh, easy. Okay, well then when I think about that, that's easy.
It can be anything.
So we have a baseball mix in the car, so I'm just gonna take songs from that because that's what I like listening to.
Perfect.
No particular order. Sweet Caroline is top 5.
Classic. Good sing along.
Played at Boston Red Sox games.
Then I'd probably go Brew Fever.
I actually was able to sample old ads of Milwaukee Brewers. Hey, come to the game like this night on dollar beer night or bring your dog night or whatever it is. And I found like the full sample of the underscore of that, along with the come see what's brewing, come see how the good times are. And let's listen to that.
Yeah, I know.
That's great.
And then I would probably go, you got Brewers Keep Turning Up the Heat, which is our rally song.
Yep.
Of course, Roll Out the Barrel. That's
Roll Out the Barrel, the classic polka that we play after Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Okay, yeah.
Itself. Those are probably my top 5. Because off the top of my head, because all I can think about right now is baseball.
Understandable.
We have a game that we'll be going to
soon.
Yes. So that's part of our plans.
Yes.
All right, Andy. Your road trip playlist top 5. And with everyone who's on here as well, type in your favorite road trip songs. Andy, take it away.
All right. So I kind of considered the fact that a lot of road trips go in phases, right? You're all revved up, ready to go. You hit the road. Then you might hit a little bit of a slump and need a pick-me-up.
Yep.
So I kind of went through these phases. And to start off with, just as we're kind of getting our bearings, we need something fun, upbeat, but, maybe not too distracting, not quite sing-along-y yet because, we're paying attention to the navigation, trying to get to the right freeway, that sort of thing. One of my favorite songs is called Wanderlust by James Bay.
Ooh, I've heard it.
Have you heard it?
I've heard it.
I love it. I jam out to that song all the time. And even though it's got wanderlust, you think, oh, okay, yeah, travel, right?
Yep.
It's actually, I think about cheating on his girlfriend.
Nice.
But we'll ignore that because otherwise it's upbeat and it's fun. And, we think about it in terms of the travel. So
nice.
Then once you do get going on that freeway, you got a long stretch to go. That's when you want to kick in with the sing-alongs, right? And for that, Queen is always a good way to go.
Oh, yeah.
So many great Queen songs. So for traveling, for road trips, I really like I Want to Break Free.
Ooh.
That's a fun one.
I want to break free.
Yes.
He does it.
That's like all
again, commercials. That's what's in the classic song.
Exactly. People can totally relate to that feeling, right? So then you kind of get to that point where you start to hit a bit of a slump. You may need to go get a coffee break, something. So I want something that's going to make me dance in my seat. It's going to make me move, get that blood pumping a little bit. So for that, I go to Blur. Do you know them? They're a band from the 90s. And I had a hard time choosing between Girls and Boys or Song 2. Do you know either of those?
I will guarantee you, if I hear some bars of it, I
I'm
would.
sure you would.
Song 2, everybody knows by the woohoo, big like over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So that's a good one to dance to. That's a lot of fun. And then we really just kind of settle into it. We're in a groove. We're a few hours into a road trip at this point. Maybe something a little mellow, but just like kind of nice to listen to. For that, I'm thinking Shuggy Otis. He's an older, soul kind of singer, and I love the song "Inspiration Information."
I need some bars. I need some bars.
Oh no, I can't. I would.
That's okay. That's okay. It's 10 something in the morning. We don't have to make you do that.
Yeah. We can't.
That's absolutely okay.
No, definitely not. And then finally, I was thinking about driving at night. And sometimes you just get these long stretches. It's night. It's just got like this mood to it. So you want something that's going to feel kind of cinematic. It shouldn't be too mellow or you're going to just kind of fade off into the horizon, right? Get a little distracted. So you don't want it to put you to sleep. It's got to have some changes. It's got to have some disruptions in it, but still have like that just kind of cinematic night driving feel. And for that, if I'm not going with Alt J, my favorite band, my choice is Paranoid Android by Radiohead.
Nice.
So
you got a list.
So much more thought out than mine. I like these 5 songs.
Did I just take you on a journey?
Yeah,
I'm trying to
Well
take you guys
done
on
with
that
the
trip with me.
thematics too.
See,
Love it.
We have Nick chiming in with the top 5.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's
It's a lot of
the same thing.
except so you have Lil Uzi,
Sauce it up.
Lil Uzi,
Lazy Burt, yeah.
Juice WRLD, Lil Uzi, and honorable mention, Living on a Prayer. D-backs play that. They played that.
Yes, Living on a Prayer. That's a great sing-along song.
yeah.
New Jersey's own, right beside us, and it is the post "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" song played by the Arizona Diamondbacks, which we experienced.
Oh,
Go check out that video. We got that.
We have, a new subscriber. I think Maria Labarge.
I see Maria Labarge. Thank you for popping in. And No Parts Garage.
Hello to both of you. If you are new, welcome to Swordy Stories. Make sure you like and subscribe.
To us and to them.
Yes.
Ding,
Maria-
ding, ding.
Maria Labarge is my mom.
Hey, Mom! Hi!
So my parents
Awesome.
are watching right now.
That is awesome. I love how you went thematic, seriously, Andy, with yours. I'm taking a guess that some of it I can imagine, especially you driving all the different terrains of Southern California with that list. Your old home area.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Up in California right here.
Boom. Boom. And that gives me an honorable mention that I need to give to you for an artist to check out. They're from SoCal. And I maybe should have put this in my top 5. Our friends Kelly's Lot.
Oh yes.
Oh, I saw on your vlog.
Yeah.
Yes. They're I think the song that we had during our bloopers from
Oxnard?
not from Oxnard, but from Los Angeles. The end of that Los Angeles video that we ran for the whole bloopers, the life, that thing just drives.
Yeah.
The groove in that just absolutely drives. Coach's Magic, Summer Nights is a classic duo.
Yes.
For the Lovebirds. That's awesome. And
that's amazing. I like that one.
But my actual top 5 list also has themes as well. And it comes a lot from the fact that we do road trips. Yes, we do baseball, obviously, but part of what we've done with our road trips is it's not just about the game. It's about the experiences that we have in the other parts of the city and educating you on the place.
Yes, no doubt about it.
And we're going to go in alphabetical here by the artist. Our first trip to our new hometown of Philadelphia was back in 2018 when we saw the Brewers play the Phillies. And 3 nights beforehand, we're driving the Ohio Turnpike, and I'm playing the Philadelphia playlist.
Oh, I love the Philadelphia one. I think I know where you're going.
What's the song?
Summertime.
By DJ Jazzy Jeff and the guy who punched out Rock. And I'm not a fan of what he did there by any stretch of the imagination, but that is such a perfect behind the wheel song.
It really
Every time
is.
we're in the
Yeah,
car,
that's a good one.
That's always coming on the Philly mix.
Yep. And the first time that I played it on the mix, what shocked me was that Anonymami knew every word.
Wow.
Good for
And
her.
was excited. It was brilliant. Number 2 is very evocative of Anonymami. And it is another one of those audio coffee kind of songs. And you're going to see that I love sort of old school soul, R&B is one of my favorite genres with this.
Yes.
We were married on the 22nd day of September.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no way.
So the rehearsal dinner was on, of course, do you remember, the 21st night of September?
That's
Earth, Wind, and
amazing.
Fire. Tell me you don't sing the Badia
Oh,
portion of the
Oh,
chorus.
the whole thing. The whole thing. Yes.
Exactly.
It's a banger.
Exactly.
We've
And our
actually
rehearsal-
met Verdine White.
What's that?
We've actually, did I get his name right?
Yeah, Verdine.
We've actually met Verdine White. We
The
have a picture with
bassist.
him.
Sweet. That's
Yeah.
wow. That is awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah, we saw him at the Grammy Museum.
Oh, wow. One of my all-time favorite R&B bands. The horn section is just
Oh,
killer.
so insane.
Mm.
Fire's good.
And the story as well was that I'm from Milwaukee. Anonymami is from West Virginia. At the time, the Milwaukee Brewers Class A minor league affiliate was the West Virginia Power in her hometown. So we held the rehearsal dinner at the Stadium Bar and Grill. And they did an entire ballpark buffet. They made the traditional West Virginia hot dogs. You live in the
Wow.
South, so you might know what goes on a hot dog there. Mustard, onions, chili, and coleslaw. You ever had coleslaw on a hot dog? I think you're typically pescatarian, so probably
yeah, I
not.
mean, we've only been for the last couple of years. We ate all the meats before that.
Nice.
But, yeah, but I don't think I've had coleslaw on a hot dog. No,
Oh.
I've had sauerkraut, but not coleslaw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, think sort of that version of sauerkraut or a banh mi, if you will. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But they also made secret bratwurst with Milwaukee Secret Stadium sauce. I got to get you a bottle of that. I mean, it's killer good. My mom's Italian sausage recipe, they did all that. And so from all that, you came a couple years later.
And Appalachian Power Park, still one of my favorite getaway spots. Sadly, they're not in the minor leagues anymore. Now they're independent, and they changed their name to the Dirty Birds.
The Charleston Dirty Birds.
Such a bad name.
They wouldn't play the Asheville Tourists, I don't think. I don't think they're in the same league.
Well, no, because they're independent.
Right,
And the
that's true.
Tourists are in Low A?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Something like that.
That sounds right. Number 3 is an artist that I've actually told the two of you to go see.
Yes.
She now lives in Asheville. She's
yes.
from Philly. Christy Lene.
Okay.
All acoustic music.
Nice.
She has a song called Moonlight Serenade, which again, when I think of driving and road trip songs, I think of audio coffee.
Yeah.
I'm driving solo from Phoenix to Vegas on US 93. You can imagine the beauty of the desert.
Oh yeah.
Sunny day.
Heck yeah.
That song has sort of like this incredible trip hop solo acoustic feel to it.
Ooh.
That is just maniacal. It was like the perfect soundtrack to the vistas that were in front of me
Wow.
as I'm breaking speed limits because there are no cops around on this absolutely straight 20-mile stretch. So never drive like that, ever.
Yeah, don't do that.
But it was so, I mean, it was the perfect soundtrack to just natural beauty. And to sort of match up to that natural beauty.
You know what sounds good to speeding?
Uh-oh.
Brad Paisley from Cars.
Oh.
That is one of my
What song is that?
Demolition Derby scene. Brad Paisley, West Virginia's own, his guitar playing over that.
It is the perfect stereotypical, like down home country instrumental, like guitar soloing type of song.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I could totally feel that vibe. Yeah.
which gets to my number 4. I'm not a country fan.
I am a little bit.
Anonymami's a big country fan. But there is a country song that is specifically about what the two of us are about.
Oh.
It's on the baseball mix. Because we're trying to see all 30 Major League Baseball parks to see the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yes.
And it is a song by a guy named Tony Lewis, independent artist,
Okay.
Baseball Nation.
Oh, that's a country song? I never thought of it as a country song. Really.
I mean, it's got the steel guitars in the background.
Sure
It's
it
got that
does.
sort of beat, but it like names all 30 parks at the time when he wrote the song. And it's literally about road tripping.
That's
Just-
amazing.
it's
Your
awesome.
theme song.
And then number 5 and the final one comes from another music mix that I came up with when we went to Detroit, one of the great music cities of America.
Know what's coming, I think.
We know Detroit.
Oh yes, you've done it. Go check their stuff out,
Okay.
everyone. It's actually a band out of Japan named Makoto, but with a
Okay.
Detroit artist named Paul Randolph. Oh my gosh, this guy is good.
All right.
One of the best neo soul artists that I've heard. It's a song called Tower of Love.
Okay.
It is like what if you would have taken, say, I should know his last name, but the lead singer of the Temptations, David
Ruffin.
Ruffin.
Yeah.
Transport him and the Motown horn section with 2010 instrumentation. And just high energy. Just the perfect song when you hit the freeway. And the horn section just goes off.
Oh, that sounds
Cool.
amazing. We'll
Go
definitely
look
get
that
that
up.
one.
Horns
Go
are always
look
good for
that
that.
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
But like what you're describing, I mean, road trip songs are all about energy,
Yeah.
all about scene setting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty.
Yes.
That's the beauty of what we're discussing.
Yeah.
So, Andy, what do you got for your top 5? Is that the national parks one?
Oh no, I wasn't going to do national parks.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was all confused about what we were doing today anyway, so it's all good. No,
My fault. I apologize.
I'm really curious because just bringing it back to sports, and you guys have been to so many games and sporting events and everything like that. Just for us, it's all about music, right? And we've done so much, and yet it still just stays so fresh. But there are always like those kind of like top epic moments, those like, oh, I can't believe we saw that kind of thing, right? I don't really have too much to add to this because I've only actually been to maybe 2 professional sports games in my life.
Same here.
But I'm really curious for you guys, like what are like those epic moments for you? Those like the biggest sports related memories that you guys have? What are your top 5?
Okay, well, if we're talking general, then I think I know what my number 1 is, but I'll start at number 5, which has to be, I think.
This is off the cuff, but I'm sure he knows it.
Oh, I had a feeling he could come up with stuff.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go. First of all, honorable mention game Packers Ravens.
Which we went to last year.
And another honorable mention, Brewers Giants. With the Jonathan Scope Grand Slam.
That was in 2018. We didn't video that one.
No,
but
that was before we.
that was before we started the channel.
Yes.
Okay.
But if you wanted to quickly describe what happened.
Sunday game about and
They had ridiculous
it
tickets.
was me. Yeah, you got us tickets through your work. You were working that day, but it was me, my mom, a couple friends. We were sitting near the Brewers dugout. Madison Bumgarner, the well-known Giants pitcher, hits at the Brewers' best player, Ryan Braun. Throws at him intentionally. Bench is clear. So a fight almost happened. And then bases are loaded. Jonathan Scope up to the plate. Brewers had just got him a couple months earlier. Hits a grand slam. 40,000 people erupt in the most important time of the year.
They were in a playoff run.
Huge momentum starter for the Brewers.
Yep.
In that September. But at number 5, I'm going to go with something that actually also happened that year. being game 163.
Now, we weren't at this game.
If we're talking general, then, I mean, that's what I'm going to go with.
All right. To give a quick explainer to you, the way the baseball playoffs worked at the time, if you were tied after 162 games, the full regular season, if you were tied either for a division title or just for a spot in the playoffs, you played a one-game play-in playoff game. So they would nickname it Game 163. And the Brewers and Cubs, the Chicago Cubs, were tied after 162 games. They hadn't decided anything.
Arch rivals as well.
Arch rivals.
Okay.
And usually Cubs fans take over American Family Field, formerly known as Miller Park. And Brewers fans don't like that.
No.
So Brewers fans see it's a weekday game. Tickets came up early. Let's get Brewers fans in the house.
Mm-hmm.
We had a huge presence, and the Brewers beat the Cubs at Wrigley Field, beat our arch rivals, and then the Cubs got eliminated from the wild card. They didn't even get to play us again for revenge. I'm gonna segue into my next one. Because of the Cubs not playing the Brewers again, my mom, me, and this time my grandma got $40 tickets to a Brewers playoff game.
Wow.
I mean, it's like normally like $100 to $200 for that round of the playoffs.
And those would be pretty expensive. Yeah.
Because the Cubs fans thought that they were going to play the Brewers, but the Rockies beat them. Brewers play them. So the Brewers play the Rockies. Game 1 of the series, Thursday night. Game went like 4 or 5 hours. And
it was the whipping post of playoff games.
And it was a walk-off by Moose.
The great Mike Moustakas.
To get... That's why I see Nick in the background. He loves Moose. Nick in the background is going crazy.
Nice.
It's Moose. And, Moose with the amazing walk-off to give the Brewers the 1-0 lead in the series. Brewers went on to sweep. Number 4, another playoff game.
I thought that was your 4.
Number 3, another playoff game. 2011. I don't remember much. He remembers more, but...
He was 22 months old.
Did you remember anything?
Not really. It was just a great game.
Yeah, it was Game 5 of the National League Division Series, and it was a best-of-5 series. So they were tied at 2. The winner goes on to play in the National League Championship Series. It was the Brewers against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yes.
And
we were in the last seat of the stadium. I was in his lap because,
at that age, he was young enough that I could have him sit in my lap, and he didn't have to have his own separate seat.
Yeah.
We were in the last row of the upper deck, $50 tickets, again, for a deciding playoff game.
In like the worst thing possible in the stadium.
But we were there.
But you were there.
And that's all that mattered.
Yeah.
It went, again, to the 10th inning.
Wow.
It went to extra innings. And Niger Morgan, he had this crazy nickname. He built this alter ego named Tony Plush.
Yes.
I like it.
Human being that you'd ever want to meet. But he came up with the hit that scored the winning run that sent the Brewers to the next round. Confetti, fireworks.
While I was sleeping.
He was so tired, he literally went to sleep on my shoulder that moment.
But I still have rally towels from the game,
Yep.
actually. I do have what I think it's like brewing winners
Mhm.
from that game. Number 2, I think it's kind of obvious what my number 2 is going to be. It has to be the Brewers no-hitter.
Which we went to last year.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Just an amazing no-hitter. I see Nick being like,
He almost destroyed his vocal cords.
oh, yeah,
I specifically, that was hilarious. Not today.
Because
Is that the one?
it's a 1 in 8,000 chance of it happening.
Wow.
Exactly.
So
rare.
the Brewers hadn't done it since 1987.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so, and it was just a normal day at the ballpark, except it was September 11th, 20th anniversary. So there was some interesting energy going into that place.
Yeah.
And you could tell that something special was going to go on. And just around the fifth inning, I looked at the side scoreboard and I said, Cleveland doesn't have any hits.
Corbin Burns was pitching a perfect game.
I'm like, and the perfect game was lost, but the no-hitter stayed as Anonymami is passing by.
Anonymami!
Busted.
And just what an amazing, amazing time. Josh Hader, that's my man right there.
So you're number one, though.
The Bucks winning the championship.
Of course.
You can't get better than that.
When you win the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our next guest, Nick, I see you in the background.
Yep.
Knows a little
Exactly.
couple things about winning champions. And he's showing his hat, his Rams championship hat, which you will see.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's probably my top 5.
Man.
Those are awesome.
I'd be on this thing forever and bore your skull out if I gave you my top 5, but very similar. And I'll touch a little bit on this on the top 5 that I'm going to present to the two of you as well. I guess this might be a perfect time to do it. The top 5 I'm going to ask each of you, and I'll ask you as well. Top 5 venues for you to enjoy the thing you love the most.
That's a good one.
Top 5 venues to enjoy the thing you love the most.
I think I know what one of yours is going to be. 2
Definitely.
of yours, actually.
But to our audience watching this, chime in the comments with your top 5 venues for what you enjoy the most, where you would love to watch it or where you have watched it. Andy, Stephen, either one of you. Let's start with you.
I'll start. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I came in prepared.
Nice.
These are not necessarily like the epic venues that everybody knows about, but these are, I went with places that I've actually seen shows. For us, obviously, what we love is music, and those are the kinds of venues we spend the most of our time in. So I went with places that do present music. The first one, my number 1, or should I go backwards? I guess I should go backwards. I'm gonna go like you did, Anthony. I'll start with number 5. Although this could be my number 1 as well. It's a place that I've seen a lot of shows, a lot of indie acts, a lot of great shows there in Los Angeles. It's a small kind of hole in the wall club, and it's called the Echo.
Heard of it.
In Echo Park.
Nice. And
the biggest reason I love that one, and that had to be on the list, is because Stephen and I actually met at a show there.
Sweet!
So yeah, I was there. There were a couple bands playing that night. I was there to see one of the bands. He and his buddies were there to see one of the other bands that were playing. We met in the audience. We all ended up hanging out, and that was the start of this crazy journey.
Shouldn't it be number 1 then?
Sorry. It should be, but I went with like the more traditional, like the most epic place to see a show for my number
Makes
1.
sense.
So yeah. So it could be number 1 though. Number 4, I went to college in Washington, D.C., and there's a club there that I saw a lot of shows at. It's very well known. It's called the 930 Club. So I have some really good memories at the 930 Club.
Nice.
Some shows there. Number 3, we're going back to Los Angeles. I love an old theater, and I've always been a fan of Art Deco. We got married in Miami, loved being surrounded by all the Art Deco architecture and designs. So this theater in Los Angeles is called the Wiltern.
Okay.
They host some pretty major acts there. I've seen some incredible shows there.
Oh.
Great acoustics. It's just beautiful, very well restored and maintained. It's definitely one of the LA venues, I think.
Oh, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so I love that theater. Number 2, it doesn't go by this name anymore. I'm dating myself, but in the 90s, it was Great Woods in Mansfield, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of
It's
it.
an outdoor amphitheater kind of venue, pretty large. Yeah, that's where I went for concerts a bit in high school, and then also in college when I would go home. I would, my parents were still living in Massachusetts, so I would go to concerts there. Have some great memories with my high school sweetheart going to shows.
Nice. Isn't that where the Don Henley Walden's Woods concerts were held?
It might be. I wouldn't be surprised if that was it. That sounds familiar, but I can't say for sure. My dad would know. Dad, if you're watching, or Mom. I definitely know Mom.
Ask Dad.
Ask Dad, he would know.
So there.
Yeah. Had a really funny occasion there though, because with some of these outdoor venues, it's like an amphitheater, and then the lawn, the general admission lawn is actually on top at the the higher level, and it's all grass, and that's usually where we ended up. Is we didn't get the really good seats, but it was fun being like taking a blanket, kind of just lounging on the grass. It was always a nice little vibe. And went there one time to see Dave Matthews Band and PJ Harvey.
Oh,
and
wow.
Everybody was packed in really tight. And there was this couple in front of us, this young couple who, sorry about this, Anthony, this might be a little inappropriate. They started making out. They were just going at it right in front of us. And they were so into each other and not the show that they ended up laying back on mine and my boyfriend's laps. And we were just like, hello.
Hello.
Get off.
Excuse me? Hi.
Don't mind us. So that was fun. It's also where I saw, I think my parents were fans of Jimmy Buffett. I was not really ever a big fan of him, but my parents were, and they had tickets and for some reason couldn't go. So I ended up going in their place, and I saw Jimmy Buffett live and actually loved it.
Yeah.
That is such a good show. And everybody with their parrots and their sharks and all that stuff. It's
Cheeseburgers.
Nice. We have an answer from Mom. It's different. My bad on that.
Oh, they did
Sorry,
it.
Mom.
Okay. Thank you, Mom. Little education
awesome.
there.
As you were.
Okay. And number one, back to LA, the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I've seen my favorite band there. In late 2019, we took my parents to see The Who play with the whole orchestra.
Wow.
It was epic. That was such a great show. We've seen a live performance of what's it called? The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nice.
Is that
Yeah. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Where they had like Danny Elfman, who's the composer, and he was the lead of. Do you remember the band Oingo Boingo?
Of course.
Yeah. So Danny Elfman is the lead singer and main guy.
I'm like, what?
All I see is just Nick just giving hearts to something that someone's talking about in the back room.
That's awesome. But
I don't know what.
But keep going.
Oh, so anyway, yeah. So again, with the orchestra, all the original voices of the characters from The Nightmare Before Christmas, they are doing like a live performance of the music to the movie being projected. So it was really cool, like watching the movie in this like open air environment and all the projections and everything. It was
and
incredible.
the projection, it's not just a screen, like it completely
it goes over the entire theater, and like they have like this whole like live mapping, so it goes they have like like a half shell at this theater, and so like the whole arch has like its own like projections going, and everything's kind of interacting with the actual screen with the movie, and it's an amazing production that they did. And I think it was the 25th anniversary of The Nightmare Before Christmas, and so that's why they did that. And then afterwards, some of the Oingo Boingo guys came out. They did, because it was right before Halloween or right around Halloween.
Yeah.
So they did like an Oingo Boingo, a few songs from Oingo Boingo too.
Oh, sweet!
Jammed out to that, so it was really, really cool. So yeah, we've had some amazing experiences at the Hollywood Bowl. You can't beat the acoustics. You can't beat the vibe. That's definitely my favorite. It's it's tucked right in the hills there in Hollywood. So yeah. I
think we passed by there.
We probably did.
Yeah, when we
probably
were on our 2019 road trip. Your mom chiming in with Jimmy Buffett having the best tailgate parties. We're going to have to discuss that a little bit when it comes to our venue discussion, because we may have some that could compete. And yes, The Who with a full orchestra, just wow. I'm going to have to listen to some Who music.
Yeah.
So, why don't you give yours?
Okay, well, of course, I'm going to go sports here because it's sports.
Of course.
And I'm going to start with, I think, I'm going to go starting just not in any real particular order, but I guess I'll just go football to start off. And I mean, you can't beat Lambeau Field. That's for sure there as I think the best stadium in football.
It's the oldest still continuously used stadium in the National Football League.
Really?
Yes. And second oldest, only behind, or third oldest behind Fenway and Wrigley, I'm pretty sure.
For any sports venue in the entire United States. Although, at least for a professional team, though, we went to the Palestra, which is old
Yes.
for
So
college basketball.
then, it's Lambeau.
Mhm.
Love that place. The Titletown district. They just built that recently, and it goes perfect. You got your food. They have a sledding hill, an ice skating rink, 200-yard football fields that kids can play on,
And
and a jungle gym.
And Andy's mom, the tailgate parties there will far compete with any Jimmy Buffett concert.
Yeah.
Wow.
For a 7 o'clock night game on a Sunday night, fans will go to, and I'll add a little bit of this on my list too. Fans will be there at 6 a.m, parking in neighboring houses' lawns, holding tailgate parties.
Yeah, you don't. So when you would be working the games, and we would somehow get tickets from people, my mom and I would go, whether it's preseason or regular season. We just find the cheapest lawn to park in, and walk like $20. You just park in someone's lawn. You pay them. They might offer you a beer, and then you just go to the game. And
you like those beers, huh, Anthony?
And the fun is the friendliest of any in sports. I'll describe that more.
Yes. Then for baseball, I think I'm gonna have two separate ones for two different experiences.
Okay.
For just going to a baseball game and relaxing, I don't think you can beat PNC Park.
Okay.
The relaxing vibe of the place.
You've been past that on your Pittsburgh trip.
Pittsburgh?
Yes. It's just such a chill vibe with downtown, the bridges, the river.
Yeah.
It feels so awesome just to sit there and watch a game, no matter who's playing. Like, we were just talking to people in the upper deck, and they went just to have the view and just hang out on their phones and not to even watch baseball.
That's great.
They were there basically paying like a $15 cover charge to watch a game, but treat the stadium like a 45,000 seat bar and just hang out.
That's so worth it.
All right.
I mean, I don't know about
That's
the
cool.
price of drinks, but still, $15.
True. That's true.
But
$15
then
is a great view.
for fun, and I can't speak to a stadium like Fenway or Yankee Stadium, but just having an enjoyable time. I mean, American Family Field, the tailgating atmosphere,
The old Miller Park in Milwaukee.
is so great. You park, there's nothing like pulling up to that parking lot, smelling the brats. There's that just scent of the brats on the grill, people playing cornhole, or as we call them in the Midwest, bags, or you have some kids just throwing around a football, and you just have all these cars parked tight, people enjoying themselves. Everyone makes the walk over the river. There's a bridge that goes over the Menominee River.
Yep.
And goes to the stadium. And so that's that. And Santos Chronicle saying good morning, even though the Bulls got destroyed by the Bucks.
Yep. Go Bucks, go.
Yes.
Our friends from Chicago.
We were actually just talking about the Bucks a couple minutes ago, and then winning the championship. But then for basketball, I'm not going Fiserv Forum.
Okay.
I'm going, even though I've never been there, MSG.
Okay.
Where's that?
Madison Square Garden?
Oh.
The best place to see a basketball game, I think. Can't wait to get there. So historic. Just amazing. And for my fifth, I'm going to go another one that I think I'm going to go here, college football.
Nice.
And I haven't been
Those are amazing atmospheres.
to that many. But I do have a bias towards Camp Randall Stadium. And at the start of the fourth quarter, 80,000 people doing jump around.
Nice.
That's fun.
I was the pregame show host for the Badgers radio network and worked as a statistician in the booth during the games.
Uh-huh.
And we were in the upper deck where the press box sort of hangs underneath the upper deck seating. It felt like an earthquake.
And literally,
Seriously.
the shaking sometimes registers as an earthquake.
Oh
On the
my
Richter
gosh.
scale at the university.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me nervous. I was there.
It did. It did.
We get jumpy about stuff like that, but
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Just jumping and just jumping and jumping and jumping. That's my
I
problem.
love a good dance party. That's awesome.
Nice. Your mom chimes in. I challenge that about tailgating at Lambeau Field.
Uh-oh.
Do people share shrimp on the Barbie? Check. Margaritas at 6 a.m. Check. Made in a blender hooked up to your car engine? Check.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. And the opening band's playing in the parking for you.
Oh yeah, random people will just start playing. It's almost like opening bands to the football game.
And there are enough bars nearby, all the right that surround the stadium that have day-long music fests. Check.
Nice.
All check.
Yeah, just random
Yeah.
guys
I
will
think I
just
played one of those
hold
songs.
to random
Lambeau Field?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
a whole bunch
I
of
saw
random
that
fans
field.
will just
Awesome.
get their instruments and just start playing music outside of the game, walking around. You have cheese Lombardi trophies. Literally, people make the trophy out
They
of
carve them out of cheese?
Yes.
Yes.
They carve everything out of cheese.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
So, yeah.
It's bonkers. It is such a bonkers atmosphere. I'm going to chime in more with that coming up. And we got a whole bunch of people checking in.
Hey,
Ooh,
Jared.
Jared,
Record
the boy
store
from,
day.
Baseball Road Tripper. Everyone who's chiming in, go check out Stephen Andie's channel. Fantastic travel channel with a lot of music infused, as we're going to probably discuss that.
So,
And I would say, Maria, there's probably a little bit of a crossover between Packers and Jimmy Buffett fans.
yeah, so Jared's saying Tony is at the is having his record store day, so I'm checking in for both of us.
Yeah.
The man Tony Voda, if you saw Zach Hampel's video that we
Yep.
were in recently, that there's a connection there.
And you and Baseball Road Tripper probably have a good overlap when it comes to the world of vinyl records. What, you got some vinyl in your collection at home?
It's in
Yeah.
storage.
Oh!
So most of our stuff is in storage right now since we left LA.
bet.
So yeah, we haven't played any vinyl in over a year now.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
But yes, we did love our vinyl.
Oh, man. Come on over. We got some here. A little bit of a collection that we're slowly growing.
Yeah.
We got some for you.
What do we have?
Awesome.
Amazing.
Billie Holiday and who else?
Let's see. It's an Anamami's.
And country. We have country. We have all that stuff.
Yeah. So feel free to grab some, and definitely next time you stop up, we'll have some for you. So,
I love
Stephen, your top 5 venues for the stuff you love.
Okay. I'm going to kind of wing it on the order. I didn't really think to put them in order, but I could make that happen. So I'll start with number 5 in LA. Iconic venue since I forget when it opened, but the Troubadour.
Oh yeah.
I want to take you there.
Yeah.
I
I want
talked
to take you
about
there.
Great venue. Back in the singer-songwriter days of LA, Linda Ronstadt, all those people.
Elton John.
Elton
his
John
first US concert.
debuted in the US there. So legendary, but it's a great venue to see a show. The sound is always great. I played there a few times.
Just played, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the few of these are places I played. So,
Sweet.
but that place is great. I really loved playing there. And it was always great seeing shows there.
Yeah.
Really
That's
cool that
awesome.
it still exists, because a lot of the places, more like that's on Santa Monica Boulevard, but north
Yeah.
of there up on Sunset Strip, a lot of those places are gone now. So it's great that the Troubadour is still there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Amen. Boom.
That'll be my 5. Trying to work backwards. I'm going to have to say a couple more in LA, the Greek Theater.
Yes.
Griffith
Another
Park.
amazing outdoor venue,
Sure.
not as big as the Hollywood Bowl, not even close. Actually, I've seen the Allman Brothers band there amongst several others.
Oh, man.
Just amazing, beautiful venue. It doesn't matter where you sit. You could be, really far in the back, and it's still just, the sound is great. The vibe is great. You're just in the hill in Hollywood. Oh, not Hollywood, Griffith Park, kind of just outside of
Los
Hollywood.
Feliz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just an amazing venue.
Ah,
Yeah. It doesn't matter who you see there. You just enjoy the venue.
Yeah.
Moving up to number 3. It's hard for me to put this one at number 3, but the Hollywood Bowl. All the same reasons Andy said. Another outdoor, I think that one's about 17,000 people, so it's pretty big, but it's just amazing. And it's also cool if you go up into the hills just to look at, a view of LA. You go to certain spots, you can see right down into the Hollywood Bowl, which is really cool to see it in the daytime when it's empty. You just see the whole layout of it and everything. But seen a lot of great shows there, and every time I go there, I can't not think of the Beatles playing there when they first came to the States and everything, and just imagining what that was like. But yeah, any show I've seen there has always been great. It's just an awesome venue.
I bet.
Yeah. Parking could be a trick, but
take public transit.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then in my top two, these are a little more self-serving places I've played that were just super memorable for me and really significant.
Oh, that's awesome.
Number two, this one's kind of for you guys because it's sports. Mexico City, the sports arena, which I got to read the translation. It's really simple, but I can never remember it. Palacio de los Deportes. It's the sports arena in Mexico City.
I believe that's where Team USA won the 1968 Olympic gold medal in basketball.
Hey.
So
nice.
Yeah. You had a lot of NBA stars, I'm sure, on that roster. Go ahead.
Yeah. That one was just kind of significant for me because it was the first legitimate arena that I ever played in.
Wow.
And it was international,
Nice.
And it was literally about a 24-hour trip. It was just before Christmas one year. I think it might have been like the day before Christmas Eve or something like that.
The 23rd, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Just like in and out.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Like Festivus. Nice.
It was a great trip. I mean, for 24 hours, it was awesome. They had a lot of beautiful artwork there. I had some great street food. Surprisingly, it had beans in it, and I was okay with that because normally I don't like beans.
It's a little bit of a picky eater.
But yeah, it was an amazing trip. And that arena, I remember doing sound check and just hitting the snare drum the first time and just hearing that arena echo. I was just like, yes, I'm in an arena.
And that's a huge venue. That's like 25,000 seats, I think.
Probably. The whole thing wasn't open for the show, but it sounded like it. It still sounded the same. I think it was just like the uppers were maybe closed.
Nice.
But it was great. It was like an 80s festival show, so there were a lot of classic bands from the 80s playing. And it was a great time. I mean, they were super accommodating. Backstage, there was all kind of treats and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was a great time. And then my number one on a much smaller scale, venue-wise, but much larger scale for me, significance-wise, Japan. The first place I ever played in Japan is this place called Club Goodman.
Okay.
Literally holds, I think, 110 people.
Sometimes those are the best.
Which is pretty typical for a lot of the clubs I've played in Japan. They're really pretty small like that, but they always sell out for the most, those places definitely always sell out. And it's just, you don't even know it's that small. Like once the lights are out and you start playing, it just seems like so much of a bigger venue. But that one for me, like, as a kid growing up, Cheap Trick was one of my favorite bands. So Cheap Trick at Budokan, and just the sound of those screams sounded so different than any other live album I ever heard. So like I always had that in my head, and Japan just always seemed like a total other world that I might never get to, so
he's toured Japan. He performs with a Japanese artist over there.
Oh, sweet.
He's befriended him and they play together. So he's gone to Japan several times for tours, and he's seen a lot of the country.
Yeah.
It's one of the only places he's been to more than I have.
Wow.
I grew up traveling, and he didn't start traveling till we were together.
Yeah.
Hello.
I know, right?
It's all your fault, Andy.
Sorry.
It's all your fault, Andy. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been there 5 times now. I was supposed to go back in May of 2020.
And then, of course, we know what happened.
Yeah, that would have been the first spring I was ever there, and I was really looking forward to being there in spring because I've always been in January or November. But just amazing. That very first time, when we first came out to start playing, and at that time, the song we opened with just started with drums. So I just remember me and the bassist singer at the time of the band we were in. It was his first time there too. And just when we started playing, I remember him turning around, just looking at me, and he's like, "We're in Japan." And it was just like,
It's
it
real.
was just amazing. And like everybody's bouncing up and down. I'm like, we are the only Americans in this building. This is crazy.
How
So that
freaking
was always kind of at the
special.
top of my list. It's just a big moment.
Nick and I actually just covered Japan. We know a thing or two about it.
Wow.
I see him in the background.
Freaking
Give me the thumbs
special.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Have those kind of moments
Yeah.
where it's like, you're hitting it. Both literally when it comes to your snare drums and you're realizing this is what we've dreamed of. We're here.
Yeah.
That's spectacular.
Yeah. It was just like, I can't believe I'm in Japan. It was awesome.
That is so freaking spectacular. Jared Weisler agreeing. Great venue list. Santos Chronicle. So cool to have seen those places doing what you love.
Yeah. I'm so grateful for it. It's awesome.
Those are gifts. Those are gifts.
Yes.
I'm going to try and speed through my top 5 to an extent, but we've discussed, there'll be a little bit of added pieces that I'll discuss on some things that he's already brought up. But my number 5, especially for you two having some Southern California roots, you'll appreciate this. And I have to ask you.
And I have something SoCal as well in mind. So,
have you ever been to an event at the LA Coliseum?
Yeah.
What'd you see?
That's where we went for New Year's Eve. We saw the Flaming Lips and Gnarls Barkley.
That was at the Coliseum?
I'm pretty sure that was, wasn't it?
No, that was at one of the colleges.
It was one of the other ones.
Yeah. We went
Rose
to a
Bowl?
Bernie
We
rally.
went to a Bernie rally, a political
Nice.
rally at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have to be careful. I don't talk politics because I work in
I know.
news. You can talk all you want.
No. We really don't either. But
Nice. It's all good.
that's the only other thing I can think of we've been to there.
Nice.
Yeah,
But
I'm not sure that I've actually been to a concert there.
Yeah, I don't think I have actually. Now that I think about it,
For
and
those
that's right
who are-
across the street from the Shrine, right? So
I think so, yeah.
we've been to the stuff at the Shrine. That might be where we saw that Gnarls Barkley. And
Could have been.
nice.
yeah,
But the LA Coliseum, for those who don't know,
beautiful.
this 99-year-old architectural wonder
oh, I
of
love
a
it.
football and track stadium.
And now NASCAR.
Yeah, they've even held a NASCAR race in the last couple of months.
Really?
There. Yeah.
And they've held baseball. It's the only place to hold the World Series, the Olympics,
And the Super Bowl.
a Super Bowl, and a NASCAR race.
The Olympics. I did go to an event there. You didn't. I was working it. It was the Air and Style Festival owned by Shaun White. And I got
Okay.
to meet him and photograph him with his gold medal.
Nice.
That was there.
That was at the Coliseum.
That was at the Coliseum. Yes.
Oh,
Right.
sweet. You were inside mommy's tummy
Yes.
on our baby moon in Southern California. I had a work assignment. That was the only work that I had to do on the trip. For the Packers radio network, I interviewed a guy who moved to Los Angeles, but was with the first team to win a Super Bowl, the 1966 Packers, Willie Davis, one of the great people I've ever met in sports. He was one of the first African-American, one of the first Black athletes to become a top-level executive.
Wow.
One of the top beer executives in America after his career. And he based himself in LA. And we met up in the Coliseum, sat in the first row, looked
Cool.
at that field, and talked about the first Super Bowl. It was played
That's
right there.
amazing.
Wow.
That was played 7 years after a World Series that was played there. There have been 2 Olympics there. There's going to be a third.
Yeah.
And when we went on our 2019 road trip, the part of the LA trip where we lost the footage,
We were outside of it, and we couldn't get as close as we wanted to because it was under construction on the outside a little bit. But just how amazing it was to see that place after, in between, just seeing it on TV and stuff, with it becoming the USC Trojans
Yep.
and at the time the LA Rams. But then also, you had the scene from Cars
Mhm.
at the Coliseum.
his favorite movie series.
Yeah, from when I was a little kid, when it was the big race. So that was kind of cool, bringing me back to when I was a little kid.
But bringing it to reality and
Yes.
just the iconicness of that torch in the
Oh,
East End Zone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they've had some massive concerts there too. I think it was like 85. Springsteen drew 120,000.
Wow. Yeah,
Imagine
they do
that show.
Yeah. That had to be something
Imagine
else.
that show. It's held everything. It's held everybody. Another great concert that was held there, 1972. It was called the Black Woodstock. Wattstacks.
Yes.
And I believe there was a documentary filmed about that just afterward, where they let everyone in just for $1 for 10 hours of just ridiculous R&B and soul music.
Yeah.
Great. I gotta
Check
look
out
that
that
up.
documentary.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Number 4, I'm stealing one of yours.
Oh, that's fine. I don't care.
He mentioned it, Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
If you are an athlete or you are a musician, you play that venue
Yeah.
and you have a ridiculously big performance, the world will know about it.
Yeah.
From Michael Jordan to Bruce Springsteen and Billy Joel to Frank Sinatra to Giannis Antetokounmpo, who hit game winners for the Milwaukee Bucks.
And the Statue of Liberty dunk over Tim Hardaway.
Yep.
That was my favorite Giannis dunk ever.
And they play the Big East basketball tournament there every year in March.
Not my favorite Giannis dunk. That was in the finals.
That's true. That's true. But if it's basketball,
I love it.
if it's to an extent hockey, if it's boxing, at least early on, 2 of the 3 Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier matchups were there.
Wow. And then there's the one in Manila.
Yep. The third one was in Manila, Philippines, but the first 2 were there. I mean, and you could probably think of the list of bands that have played there.
Oh, so many.
Oh, man.
Andies.
In either one of our favorite fields, if you play there, it's a dream come true. I've heard of, I want to say Melissa Etheridge played there the first time. And like she walks on stage, she's about to start her first song and she tears up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you felt, Stephen, in that place in Japan that you played in that venue.
Yep.
That's what artists feel when they play the MSG.
Oh yeah.
And if you win in basketball at MSG, the world knows.
Especially last year, I'll just say this really quick. When Ice Trey and the Hawks came in.
Yep.
That was interesting.
The Atlanta Hawks. Yep.
That was interesting. Crazy when he was the fans were saying some interesting things to Trae Young after the Hawks knocked out the next round 1. That was really fun.
My number 3, he mentioned it as well. We talked about the tailgating outside. I'll talk more about what's inside. Miller Park, otherwise now known as American Family Field. We talk about 3-hour tailgate parties that, yes, have shrimp on the Barbie and margaritas.
We talked about the 6 a.m. tailgate party.
Right, at Lambeau Field.
Yes, but 3 hours before at Miller Park.
For baseball games. They hold crazy tailgate parties. But then you get inside, and they entertain you so well every minute.
Yeah, there's just, you have in the 6th inning, you have the sausage race.
Have you ever seen the sausage race?
No.
I might have seen it in one of your videos.
Yep.
Did you have it in one?
I think we put in like a clip of it
Yeah.
in one of our really early ones.
Essentially, it's where you have the hot people there are 5 people. They're each in a costume. So there's the hot dog, the Italian sausage, the chorizo, the brat, and the Polish.
Yep.
And they run, and they from what, third base to first?
Just a little bit past third base, along the warning track, going behind home plate to a little bit past first base. These 12-foot I've run this race 4 times.
No way.
Yep.
How'd you place?
I thought it was only like 2.
That was like 4 times.
Okay, wow.
I finished second every time. I was always the Italian sausage.
Awesome.
Nice. Good one.
But imagine what it feels like, and you can speak to this, Stephen, what it feels like to have 42,000 people screaming for you.
That's insane.
The difference is you're playing music. I'm running in a 12-foot sausage costume.
I think it might be more fun in a sausage costume, honestly.
Exactly. And it was the beginning of the tradition now that so many teams have of having a race in between innings.
Yeah. Several teams do it.
But they entertain you so well every moment that you walk in. You have 7 mascots, including the sausages, all walking around the stadium or up in the main mascot, Bernie Brewer's chalet.
Bernie Brewer has a chalet, and every time the Brewers hit a home run, he goes down the slide. He goes down a huge slide.
Like a 20-foot slide.
Yeah, and has to walk back up, and that's the celebration. You, of course, have $1 tickets. That's always fun.
There are these obstructed view seats up in the upper deck it's really bad obstructed view, but you can walk up that day for the game and buy $1 seats for the games. They're known as the Bob Uecker seats.
Because of the 70s or 80s commercial.
Yep, the Miller Lite commercial.
With Uecker saying, so Uecker was like, or play-by-play announcer, for those who don't know, he's been with us for 50 years.
50 plus years. He's in his late 80s and is still calling games on radio. Hasn't missed a beat. And so he has a statue up there, and essentially it's this commercial where he's down the front row and the usher's like, "Bud, this isn't your seat," and the usher takes him all the way up to the top in the last row. Yep. And then he goes like, "Hey, great seats, hey buddy. He missed the tie! He missed the tie!" From the very end of the commercial. And it became nationally known for that. Awesome. So they invented seats in his honor. Yeah. And there is a statue of Bob Uecker in the last row.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
There. It's just crazy fun plus baseball. And earlier when I said take me out to the ball game, not any take me out to the ball game, Bob Uecker's take me out to the ball game in Chicago, when instead of saying root for the Scrubbies, as we'll call them. The Cubs. He said, root for the Brewers, because... And the Cubs fans booed him. At Wrigley Field.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Nice. So,
that's gutsy.
What do you have as your next one?
Let's see. I'll just quickly mention Jared Weisler, baseball fan, along with Baseball Road Tripper. We did a similar race as Giant Eyeballs. Got smoked by a buddy who was a sleeper with some wheels. I got second. Tony got third at a St. Paul Saints minor league baseball game, now the AAA affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. That's the crazy stuff. If you go to an Asheville tourist game.
By the way, what an interesting name, the Taurus.
I know, right?
That's kind of, I don't know.
I wonder where that came from.
Well, it's a bit of a tourism hotbed.
Yeah.
With all that's there. You've shown off what's awesome in Asheville to check out, by the way. Go check all that stuff out, everyone. My number 2, you mentioned it as well, Lambeau Field.
Mm-hmm.
What's number 1? I can't.
The suspense.
Number 2, Lambeau Field. You mentioned Budokan. You mentioned the Troubadour. You mentioned the Hollywood Bowl. Lambeau Field is that for the most popular sport in America, for football. So much history has been made there. 7 NFL championship teams called that their home stadium. How long do you think either one of you could endure temperatures of 15 below 0 Fahrenheit?
No.
Nope.
You're not stepping outside.
Just a no. There is no time.
December 31st, 1967. The Packers had won 4 championships in 6 years. They were playing for the National Football League championship and the right to go to the second Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys. This unexpected Arctic
cold
explosion.
Front. Yeah, cold front came in.
Just came in overnight, and the temps were 15 below for this game.
Yikes.
The field was frozen.
It was like trying to play a football game on marble with jagged edges.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
And 51,000 people still showed up, a sellout crowd.
Oh, my gosh.
Sat outside for 4 hours.
That is dedication.
Wow.
In a game that turned and the Packers were trying to become the first team ever to win 3 straight National Football League championships. No one's ever done it before or since. Actually, the early Packers did in the 20s.
Yeah.
But you're playing for history in the coldest day ever, and everyone is still out there that dedicated.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And yeah, that was, and now it seats 80,000, over 80,000.
It now seats more than 80,000 people.
And you still will get winds 15 miles per hour and it being like
30, yeah.
And 30 miles per hour in 5-degree weather, and 80,000 people still show up. It's the season ticket list is like generations long.
And in all seriousness, the season ticket waiting list for the Packers, and every seat is a season ticket. There are 130,000 names on that waiting list. And they average, I want to say, like 100 to 200 names turnover per year.
Wow.
So, but you can bequeath it, your place on the list down to your descendants. So, like 10 generations from now, your great grandkids can finally get tickets.
Oh, gosh.
And
you gotta do some serious planning ahead for them.
exactly.
The easier thing to do is just become an owner, which is a lot easier.
Which you did.
That's what we did. I'm like,
I saw that
no
in the video
ticket.
too. Yeah,
Just be an
That's
owner
awesome.
instead. Which it's like $300. You just own a stock of ownership, and
Yep. And that's the cool thing about the Packers too, is that it's a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
And owning stock allows you to become a member or vote for the board of directors and attend the annual meeting, and that's all you can do. But it also means that all the profits don't go to some rich person; they also go back to the team.
That's good.
And it becomes a community, an overall community good, sort of like a public good, versus it being something that some rich person owns.
yeah. So it really, so when you become an owner, it just gets reinvested into the stadium, into the team, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Your second thing might have to go through a little.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have. I can stay here. There's a little bit of a glitch on my computer here, but
we have this computer, so we can.
And my number one has nothing to do with sports.
Ooh.
I'm going to take you a little bit back into history. I assume you know who St. Joan of Arc was.
Oh, here we go. I know it. This place is awesome.
In the 1400s, before battle, she would actually pray in this little chapel. And it was found that the stone in which she went before praying for battle was colder than all the rest of the stones inside this chapel.
Oh.
They transported the thing to my alma mater at Marquette University.
Oh, wow.
And it sits in the middle of the campus.
Wow.
There are gardens around it. It's just this peaceful place. There's a little grotto to Mary in the back.
Yep.
It's just beautiful.
But when I was a student there, they would break fire codes and hold these like late night masses there with a priest who was maybe the one of the funniest comedians in Milwaukee.
Okay.
It was a comedy show.
Wow.
But it was the warmest atmosphere you could ever experience. It was like this place of Jesuit-run progressiveness where they backed up what they said in this little atmosphere. And if you're talking about music, I actually had some friends that played, of all things, gigs there.
Wow.
You would not need amplification.
Really?
It's really small.
The acoustics are ridiculous.
Yeah, it can just spread throughout the...
An acoustic guitar and a voice, unmiked, world-class sound.
Yes.
Wow.
I haven't been in there in years.
I know.
Because it's always closed. It's like closed just when it, like, we would get the chance to go there, closed. We're like, but you can still be outside. We play catch there multiple times. Yep. It's and we love that campus. Is like where he went. I know that place like I know myself.
It's
I know
it's such a place of incredible energy, warmth, compassion, and friendship. You talk about what we're about. That place did that for me. And you talk about earlier in your earlier discussion where you two first met. That's where Nana Mommy and I got engaged.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you're a history buff and you travel to Milwaukee, if nothing else,
you gotta go.
Just go there. If you love history, let alone anything else. But like the best memories of my life, in so many ways, come from that spot. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, big time.
That's a good
It's
number
like
one.
that to beat Lambeau Field. By the way, Paul McCartney's played Lambeau Field there.
Oh, really?
Billy Joel has played there. They've just opened it up for concerts.
Cool.
I am dreaming of you two at Lambeau Field.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Someday.
It'll happen.
So is it my?
This has been a fantastic discussion of top fives, my friends.
I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for having us.
It's great to finally be sort of face to face with you guys live.
I can't wait to actually meet you in person,
Yes.
face to face.
Yeah.
We will. We'll make
We're
that
hoping-
happen this year.
We're hoping to get to the Carolinas at some point, and maybe on the complete other end of Carolina. I'll warn you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But hoping we can at some point meet up there or up in Philly. We got a bedroom waiting for you.
All right.
As you come to your East
We will
Coast travel.
definitely figure something
We're
out.
looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing Philly.
You
It's
got
been
it.
a long time since I've been there.
Yeah.
You two are fantastic people.
Yes.
Everyone watching, go
Thank
check
you.
out
Thank
Stephen
you.
and Andy. Great travel channel, great music channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest
Thank
of your
you.
weekend.
We'll see you. But we are not done. We are not done with our
Hi.
lives because we got your boy Nick the Legend.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Hello,
Sorry for
everybody. It's fine. I actually just
Awesome.
received word that my flag football team, the other team, forfeited, so we move on to the next round.
Hey, let's go. So you don't even have to worry about missing a game.
Exactly.
We first want to say thank you, Mom. Thank you, Andy's mom, for coming in. This was a blast. We appreciate it. But we have our own top fives to discuss as we
Yes.
see you in
Yes.
your Phillies jersey. Which guy's that?
JT Realmuto.
Excellent.
Baby blue.
Excellent.
Baby boy.
Awesome. All right. What's the top five you're bringing to the table?
Top 5 MLB players going into the 2022 season, even though it already started.
Ooh,
Yes.
okay.
I already have an idea because Nick and I were chatting a little bit, and I was guessing the players. I think I got them all right.
All right. What you
I'll
got?
have to see. All right, so I actually have 2 honorable mentions. Juan Soto is my first honorable mention. Last year, he played 151 games, batted in 95 RBIs, 29 home runs with a 313 average.
Nice. Awesome.
So then my honorable mention 2 goes to Ronald Acuna Jr.,
Ooh.
who was tore his ACL last year, but I think he'll come back better than ever. So in 2019, because 2020 was the COVID year, so he did not play as much games. 2019, he played 156 games, hitting 41 home runs, having a 280 average, 76 walks, 101 RBIs, and 626 at-bats.
Dude is legit.
Yes.
Crazy.
He is legit. We actually have 3 juniors on this list.
Uh-oh.
Number 5, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Boom.
I like
Played
that.
130 games played. He had a 282 average, 42 home runs, 62 walks, batted in 97 RBIs with 135 hits.
Not bad. Not
Number
bad.
4.
Only under 30 games.
Not bad at all. Another junior, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Oh, man.
Vladdy.
Played 161 games, had a 311 average, 48 home runs, 111 RBIs, 188 hits, and scored 123 times.
Nice. Nice. Let's see who else you
And
got.
only 604 at-bats. He only struck out 110 times.
And in this day and age of strikeouts being so much more regular than they used to be,
That's
that's
insane.
yeah.
That's crazy. Number 3, I have Mike Trout.
Excellent.
Trouty.
Played 134 games, 137 hits, 45 home runs, a 291 average, 110 walks, and 104 RBIs.
Wow. And to have that kind of plate discipline that you can get one out of every 6 plate appearances is a walk. That's incredible.
And even with 470 at-bats, only struck out 120 times.
Oh wow. So it's like 1 out of every 4.5 at bats he was able to draw a walk, let alone all the hits that he created. Man.
Yeah. Number 2, I have the NL MVP, Bryce Harper.
Okay.
Bryce.
A little biased, but he did win MVP. Played 141 games with a 309 average, 35 home runs, only struck out 134 times in 488 at-bats, walked 100 times, had 84 RBIs and 151 hits.
The RBI count probably deserved to be higher
Yes.
but with the issues that the Phillies had at the plate last year, I can
Yeah.
understand why it was that low. They've done something about that.
Yes.
Oh, they have done something about that for sure. And number one, it's very self-explanatory, I guess you could guess. Shohei Ohtani
Boom.
played 158 games, had a 257 average, 46 home runs, 138 hits, 100 RBIs, 96 walks, 537 at bats, and he only struck out 189 times.
Nice.
And he also had an amazing pitching season with 130 innings pitched, having a 3 ERA, and averaging 10 strikeouts a game.
Dude.
So that's why he deserves to be number one on my top 5 MLB players.
Yeah.
And
That is insane stats.
I'm essentially there right with you. MLB, there's so many good players.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think maybe you throw another pitcher in that list as an honorable
Like
mention.
DeGrom, I say DeGrom. Like
A DeGrom, a Corbin Burns. I know we debated about that.
we did debate about this.
We did have a
DeGrom
debate.
and
That's
Corbin
cool.
Burns are the 2 best pitchers in the league, and
Yes,
it's
and
it's undoubtable. Like
And Zach Wheeler's in that class as well.
Yes.
and Zach Wheeler, yeah.
So, I think that would be my only objection. Maybe
Wheeler pitching today, obviously.
Yes. And then you've got I might say Tatis with him being injured going into this year. I might put a guy like Juan Soto in.
Yeah.
But overall, I think that's a pretty realistic list, and I agree with it. But I also just want to give a shout out to my man Miguel Cabrera in Detroit going for hit 3,000 today.
Yeah.
I hope he
By
gets
far.
it. What do you have?
I put this list together this morning. It's very debatable.
Yeah.
My number 5 is the Dodgers' Mookie Betts.
Oh, I forgot about.
Mookie.
Oh, what
You know
about
what,
Freddie
he was-
Freeman? That's another guy, Mookie and Freddie.
True.
Mookie, I actually was debating whether I wanted Tatis or Mookie, but
Mookie's-
I ended up putting Tatis. Mookie definitely should have been an honorable mention. I really didn't think about that, but
That's okay.
And I mean,
There's too many good players.
what about Freddie?
I definitely
Freeman?
I debated between those 2.
I should have said Freddie Freeman would have been in my top
Freddie
5.
Freeman's the best first baseman in baseball. He's always
Exactly.
been that guy for all of his years playing baseball for the Braves. Just won his World Series. Good for him. He's
Mhm.
always been that dude.
Yeah.
That can go up to the plate, get you hits, get you runs.
By far. By
in clutch
far.
moments.
I put in Mookie. He doesn't have as much at the plate, but his defense,
Yes.
His defense is immaculate.
he is Lorenzo Cain on
It's insane.
steroids.
He is.
He is
He really
Lorenzo Cain on steroids at the plate.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous defense.
And Lorenzo Cain at one point was on steroids.
With the way he played, it
Nah.
seemed like it,
No, yeah, I don't think he technically was, but
but he played like it.
yeah.
He played.
My number 4. You could argue a case for Freddie Freeman to be at this particular spot.
Definitely.
Juan Soto.
Juan.
In
That's
recent
why
years,
he was there.
he has been the best clutch hitter that I have seen in like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, his overall production is off the charts, but in big moments, he comes through as well as anybody in the game. Absolutely.
No doubt.
I didn't even mention Juan Soto's walks last year. He had 502 at bats and he walked 145 times.
That's like
145 times while even
That's
having a
quite
313 average.
that is ridiculous plate discipline.
It's insane.
It's
I
bonkers.
mean, I just don't know what to say.
Yeah. My number 3, we discussed why. Mike Trout.
Mike
Mike
Trout.
Trout.
Easy.
Trout. That's all I have to say. Mike Trout.
Yeah.
We all know.
My number 2 is a combination
We have a tie.
of my 4 and my 3 and each of their great qualities. That dude, Bryce Harper.
Bryce.
He may not have the numbers of a Trout. He has just about the level of the productivity in big moments of Soto. We saw it last year when he carried the Phillies.
Yeah.
He carried the team.
He
That's why he
carried
won
them.
MVP. He was incredible. And number one, and you brought up the numbers so that explain why. Shohei Ohtani
Shohei Ohtani. Yeah.
is a poor man's Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
He's not hitting Ruthian numbers right now,
No.
but he's ridiculous.
He
One of the
is
best in baseball at the plate, one of the best in baseball on the mound, and the same human being doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All 29 teams who didn't get him are wishing that they could go back in time and get him. Like, I just was imagining him on the Brewers with Burns, Woodruff, and Peralta in his hitting. Like, the Brewers would have won a World Series. I mean, you start to think about that, and I feel bad that his talent is getting wasted almost on
an Angel team that, I mean, really has just been carried by Shohei Ohtani. And my number 3, your number 3, Mike Trout. And then, as you said, carrying the team, Bryce Harper. I mean, I did not miss a Phillies game last year. I watched every single one.
Yeah.
And he had a more productive season than his stats say.
Yeah.
And his stats, they don't bring up stolen bases. He had 35 of those.
Right.
I mean,
He was like 45,
he was
35
still-
with a 3.1 something ERA.
And yeah.
It's like, whoa. How does a human being do this? Exactly. That's why we're pretty unanimous
Yeah.
in our top
Shohei.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like there's no shot.
Toll Road chiming in saying
Toll
Nick
Road!
the Legend.
Toll Road! That's awesome.
Toll Road
The
actually
Reds would still be in last. I agree. The Reds did lose their best player.
That hurts for a
Nick
fantastic,
Castellanos.
historic franchise that deserves to be good because that's a great baseball
He
team.
doesn't have.
And
He
they
doesn't
still,
have.
they still have Joey Votto, but I mean,
Yeah.
Nick Castellanos was the best player on
I
that
mean,
team.
He doesn't have a college education. He just hits baseballs.
Yep.
He just hits baseballs.
All right. Since we're discussing top 5s, you gave us yours. Your top 5 is.
So I have MLB stadiums.
Okay.
I have really the same topic, but I have a list based off of a criteria I made, and then just my general thoughts. So for the criteria, honorable mention at number 5, or honorable mention number 6, really Dodger Stadium. Just what it got. The max score could be 20. It got a 17 out of 20. This criteria is based on location to the center of the city, that downtown, the design of the stadium, the view, the history, and the things to do. And Dodger Stadium put up a good argument to be in the top 5, but just fell short. At number 4, one that we've been to, Chase Field. With it being in downtown, that got it some points. It got that score 17. It was amazing. I loved. You don't like the way the design of it as much.
It looks like a big warehouse or like a huge, like an airport hangar.
But if only you could make it a little more open. If you could have that more open air feel to it, that would be amazing. At number 4, you have the Rogers Center in Toronto, Canada, also finishing with a score of 17. The view of the CN Tower boosted those points.
Yep, big time.
A lot. And the
hotel.
Everything. The hotel. Yeah. I mean, you can book a hotel visit and you can see the entire game from your hotel. You're still in that warm area and you're just watching the entire field. It's insane.
Exactly.
So, and I would hate to see the stadium go. They're talking about building a new one. I love the Rogers Center, and I want to get there.
We hopefully will in the next couple of years.
For sure.
Yes. Next, tied. So then you have tied with the Rogers Center, Chase Field, and Dodger Stadium with 17 points. From St. Louis, Missouri, Busch Stadium.
Your first road trip stadium.
Actually, Dodger was first.
Right, but you were inside Mommy's tummy. So the first road trip stadium he actually saw.
It was in downtown, so that got it some points. I love the design of it. You have the view, amazing. You get that view of the arch. History, pretty good, and things to do, great. You got that big restaurant area in left field. So I give it Big Mac Land. Love that.
Big Mac Land.
Yeah.
I hope to get back there. And number 2, the place where Miguel Cabrera will be playing today for the Detroit Tigers, Comerica Park.
We've been there as well.
I love
America.
it. They have an entire Ferris wheel and
Kids area.
Kids area.
That's awesome.
And you get it in downtown. The view
Great downtown view.
of you get Canada not too far away. You're right in the heart of downtown. You get the towers, and just what an overall great one. And at number 1 for list 1, it's hard to beat it. Camden Yards.
Camden Yards.
Mm-hmm.
The place that revolutionized baseball stadium.
Baseball.
Yep. It was like the first baseball-only stadium after like maybe 20, 25 years of these combo stadiums, like the Vet here in Philly.
Like that, yeah.
Or like the Ring Central Coliseum in Oakland.
Or Cincinnati, St. Louis, Atlanta.
Yeah, all those old stadiums.
Pittsburgh, like Three Rivers Stadium. It had those really didn't have much ambiance.
For Christ's sake, Turner Field holds football now.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was part of the new revolution. You still had stadiums. Miller Park was intentionally made not to hold football with the dimensions. Kind of crazy. But yeah, Camden Yards is just there. And Toll Road,
The Toll Road.
The criteria, I want it. You'll see. When I saw how low
It's bogus.
PNC Park was, I was like,
What made it rank so low for you?
so essentially A equals 4 points, B equals 3 points, C equals 2 points, D equals 1. I added it all up, right? So it's not in downtown, but it's dang close. So it got a B in location.
To me, it's an A because of the view that it gives you.
No, but the view is a whole separate category.
True.
Camden Yards is the only place I've been to a baseball game.
Stephen and Andy.
Well, it's a great place to be.
It's a tremendous place to be. Stephen and Andy, stay tuned. That's all we're going to tell you.
PNC Park got an A in design, so that puts it at 7 points. View got an A, 11 points. History, the Pirates were competitive at one time in that stadium, so got a C, +2, so now you're sitting at 13. Things to do has a decent amount, but they're better. Like, for example, Comerica Park was actually, and Kauffman Stadium were the 2 places that got an A, so it got a B there. That brings it up to 16 points. Really close.
But to me, like the view that you get at PNC, jumps into that's like 7 points.
And that's why you will. And
we'll discuss that
You'll
more.
see why. So in my second list, at number 5, which stadium? We already talked about it.
This is the non-ranking. This is the bias list.
This is this is the unbiased list as well.
Oh, is it?
No Miller Park.
Oh, yes, because I do remember you telling me.
Yes, Miller Park is my favorite, but this is just stadiums I think are just cool. Busch Stadium, number 5, we already talked about it. Then we have number 4, Oracle Park, San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the water,
Yep.
McCovey Cove. The people in the kayaks.
I know.
I love the field. They've got just it's such a great stadium. Really. It is. So, where did Miller Park land? I was disappointed in Miller Park's ranking. It finished in 20th based on the criteria, which I think is low. But I mean, I can't control the criteria. I just put in what I thought. I can't control what the score all adds up to. I can control what I think each category does, and the criteria itself puts it together. So then you have Oracle Park, number 4. And by the way, Miller Park is my favorite stadium. This is my unbiased ranking.
Okay.
Oracle Park, number 4. We already talked about that as well. Just so amazing. Petco Park, number 3. You got the warehouse, the apartments.
Yep.
The feel that I love the San Diego vibes. The San
Great
Diego
town.
vibes
Great town.
hit different compared to any other West Coast city.
They do.
San Francisco's more charming.
Yeah.
I love that old school feel of San Francisco, but San Diego. Number 2, we already talked about it, Camden Yards. And at number 1, near the Clemente Bridge in Pittsburgh, right outside of downtown, PNC Park.
Yeah.
I love the place. I just love it. And we already talked about it on the stream. Tora, you might have missed it. We talked about how I put that in my top 5 venues of just where you want to see something. Because for
The
Shield,
vet? Yeah. Sorry,
go ahead.
Sorry. I know. I'm sorry.
I was done.
Oh, okay. The vet. Yeah. It was bad. It didn't hold many people. It wasn't very good, but it was still a great place to see baseball because it was electric.
It's like sort of, you would describe it as, it's a dump, but it's our dump.
Yeah.
We love it,
Yeah.
and we have fun there.
Yep.
And they were able to turn that place into such an entertaining venue as well.
They were.
It's like in Oakland. Oakland finished second last to the rankings with 12. But I absolutely love the character of that place. The fans were loud and electric in right field with their cowbells, their drums. They went crazy.
Because Mike Schmidt played there.
Michael, Jack, Schmidt, Gary, Madden, and the Phillies in my really bad Harry Callis impersonation.
The Phillies' new stadium, I have been there
It's nice.
so many times.
Yeah.
It finished on this rank 15th. Not bad.
Yeah. Not bad,
finished,
but I mean, it's still
go ahead.
It's still a great place. I mean, there's fun stuff, and I think you guys learn that. I think you guys will learn that one.
We've been there.
Soon.
Yeah.
But we'll learn even more. We didn't get to explore that much of the
Yeah.
stadium. So in the bank
You'll
time,
definitely explore it today.
maybe we'll see. Foreshadowing and foreshadowing. I can't talk on Saturday morning.
Neither can I.
PNC in the bank tie with PNC Park, Oracle Park, Petco Park, Fenway Park, Target Field, Great American Ballpark, Coors Field, and Kauffman Stadium.
You need some tiebreakers, dude.
The tiebreaker was just based off of. The tiebreaker was based off of what stadium I just liked.
Yeah. All right, Nick.
Toll Road.
What's this? Oh man,
That is cool. Over there, and it is on my wall. So I have my big man cave, and it's all sports themed. Anthony's seen it. It is
I've seen many
great.
times on FaceTime.
There is so much good stuff. But right there, it is a picture of Michael Jack Schmidt in the old Phillies pinstripe, and that is a autographed picture.
excellent.
That's awesome.
That is sweet.
Michael Jack Schmidt.
Michael
Actually,
Jack.
I would like to bring up another top 5 that I did have prepared that I think
Go
is
ahead.
the best top 5.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The top 5 mascots. in
Hey!
Oh!
I like it. I didn't think about that.
All right.
All
Well,
right,
we may have to
so
do this for a future episode as well, but go ahead with yours.
All right. So my honorable mention is Mariner Moose.
Okay.
Is it just
He's a
baseball or
great
all
one.
sports?
This is just baseball here.
This segment
Okay.
is very baseball themed.
Number 5, Wally the Green Monster.
Hey!
Very good. Very good pick.
Number
And
4,
any sort of dark colored
Any sort of,
monster that's friendly,
it's
I mean,
awesome.
it evokes Sesame Street. It's awesome.
We're talking about more dark colored monsters. Even though his team cheated to win the World Series, he is still one of the best mascots in baseball.
doubt about
Orbit the Astro.
Yes!
True.
I love Orbit.
Very true. Awesome friendly monster.
Number 3, this is just because he's such a fun mascot. I love his mustache. Bernie Brewer.
Excellent.
I
Excellent.
think he's just a fun mascot because he gets to slide down the slide. His mustache is awesome.
Stay tuned, Toll Road.
Number 2, the Oriole bird.
Yes, I
Ooh.
wanted to meet the Oriole bird when we were
Mm.
there. Didn't get the chance, and we already know who number 1 is.
And number 1, the Philly Fanatic.
Yes.
That creature from the Galapagos Islands. That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome. Can you rattle off yours?
Well, I'm right there with the Fanatic at number 1, and then just thinking about this off the top of my head, TC Bear is cool from the Twins.
True.
Agreed. He was there.
The D-backs mascot.
So was Beer Barrel Man.
Nice.
Barrel Man.
Barrel Man.
Barrel Man.
He was also in the honorable mention list.
What's the D-backs mascot?
Oh,
Baxter.
that's right.
Baxter the Bobcat.
The
That's true.
Bobcat.
I love Baxter.
It was really cool.
I've had some interactions with Baxter, I think. Yeah, when we were there. Mr. Matt, I'm sorry, Nick. I just love Mr. Matt. I mean,
I can
Mr.
agree.
Mr.
Oriole Bird,
Matt.
I'm not sure I agree with that one. Oriole Bird, he's so cool. Okay, if I were to have to replace the Oriole Bird, I would either put Stomper, the athletics mascot,
I do love
Elephant.
Stomper.
True.
or Anthony has the greatest baseball card ever of the GOAT. I would have to put him there, Billy the Marlin. Even though,
Oh, yeah.
even though we're not
Bring
big
him up.
Marlin people, he's still a great mascot.
To a baseball
Toll
game.
Road to the
Road.
baseball game.
Hey.
We cannot wait to see it. Check him out, everyone. Check out his channel.
Yes.
I'm already subscribed. I get the notifications.
That's awesome, man.
I get the post notice.
When Toll Road comes to town, we're going to have a little, Toll and Nick are going to have to pull up to a Philly basketball court, play some 2v2s against some random people.
All right.
Oh, yes. We would cook.
Baseball mascots. Ooh.
Also, what about Fredbird?
Fredbird.
Fredbird! I
He
love
was up
Fredbird.
there. He was up there. I was actually gonna put him, but Fredbird, St. Louis.
Any
Cardinals.
creature named Fred. How could you
It's
go
awesome.
wrong? Fred.
And the Royals mascot, too. The Lion.
Very true.
That's an awesome one.
That's a fun mascot by far.
The Royals mascot, Slugger.
True.
As
True.
Anana Mommy is heading out, I think, or... Okay, see ya.
Let's see.
The San Diego Chickens!
That's true. I'm going off screen for a second.
Except that's not the official mascot of the Padres. It's the Padre that's the mascot.
Yeah, it's actually called
Senor
Swingin' Friar.
Yeah, the swinging...
Swingin' Friar.
Love you, Mama. Now, you has anyone in the chat seen Charlie Bear and Swinging Friar joke?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
It was in his Miller Park video talking about Bruce Padres, and he's like, "Why would the Friar be swinging? Like
Right.
that doesn't sound like a good brother, something like that." He made a
A
funny
good
joke.
priest or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, swing meaning something else, which is not for family audience. So, but I'm not sure I can come up with a top 5 that quick. I'm going to give you my 1 and 1A.
Yeah.
My 1 has got to be the Philly.
I mean, yeah.
It's gotta be.
When you as a mascot are so legendary, so present, and can do so much crazy, fun tomfoolery,
And you're
silliness,
And you're from the Galapagos Islands.
that you're from the Galapagos Islands.
Did you see what he did yesterday?
No.
Oh yeah,
He tackled hot dogs.
whole hot dog
He
thing.
tackled hot dogs.
Oh yeah, you did show me that.
Those were such fake hot dogs. Come on.
Those were not
They
the
were.
Italian sauce.
The bratwurst
sausage
is
bratwurst.
undefeated in all races involving violence, and we have video to prove it. But the Philly Fanatic is so iconic and crazy. It's the only mascot that Tommy Lasorda ever beat up.
It is.
Tommy Lasorda beats you up, you're doing something right.
Now,
You're doing
I love Tommy Lasorda, but that was funny.
I will say this: the next time I see the Fanatic, even if I am in Brewers gear, I will literally bow down and get on my knees to show my respects to the Fanatic who will mess with me as
He's a
much.
cool dude. I've given him a couple hugs.
True.
He's still gonna mess with you, but I don't think it'll be as bad.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
As-
I got your back.
I know.
For one individual mascot, it's got to be the Philly Fanatic.
But I know where 1A is coming.
1A?
I agree.
1A, the best team ensemble of mascots is the Brewers.
7 mascots?
We have 7. You have Bernie Brewer going down a slide after every home run.
You have Barrelman dancing on the dugout for
We have a good 5.
You have 5?
What? The Phillies have 5?
We have this big dude. He's like a green little dude, and he has a big tongue. And he sucks people up. And then we have this other dude, and then we have this other dude, and then there's the Fanatic, and then there's this one big dude, which I don't really even know his name.
Right, but do they race?
No,
Exactly. 42,000 people don't stand up and cheer to watch them race. They do that with the sausages. I know, I've done it. I've been at sausage. So, that's why I say the Brewers have the best ensemble.
7.
But the Philly Fanatic, for any individual one mascot, best there is.
No doubt.
yeah. And I'm actually surprised that there is still some good mascots, even the ones that we didn't mention, like Clark. Sorry, guys. Clark the Cub.
I like Clark.
That's okay. Clark's cool.
Yeah.
Anthony said the TC Bear, obviously. Screech.
From which team?
The Nationals, Washington.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
The
That's right.
Eagles.
Mr. Met, and then his spouse, Mrs. Met.
Mrs. Met.
Lucille, the Giant.
Lucille.
Yep.
I love Lucille.
Mr. Red Legs.
I love
Gapper.
Lucille.
Primetime Travelers, hey!
Hi.
Muddy the Mud Hen.
Yes.
That is a great minor league mascot.
And the Rally Monkey from the Los Angeles.
Rally
By
Monkey.
far.
He's not the official mascot, but essentially.
Not the official mascot, but it's still insane. Great mascot.
All right.
That I really love.
All right, your top 5 stadiums, Nick.
My top 5 stadiums. So I'm gonna be biased. Number 5. The Bank. Citizens Bank Park.
Okay.
No doubt.
Now I haven't been to a lot of stadiums, but I'm just gonna go off a stadium I think
Most
is
of the stadiums I put on my list I haven't been to.
good. Number 4, the Dodger Stadium.
Oh, been there. Amazing. Amazing.
Thomas
venue.
Reen.
Number 3.
Yep, and real quick, just if it's a boring game, just go look at the mountains and go look at the sunset.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Number 3, as much as I don't like these guys, Yankee Stadium.
It's Yankee Stadium.
I mean,
Yankee
I don't
Stadium.
like those guys, but it's Yankee Stadium.
Exactly.
but you also
Same.
share the there's a common ground there not liking the Mets.
That's true.
There is a common thing there. Just saying.
PNC Park.
Oh, it's PNC.
Yes.
Oh,
That's number
it's
2.
exactly.
We have been talking about that. I'd love to see it. Hopefully, the Yankees intentionally walked Cabrera.
That's wrong. That's
Yeah,
just
they
wrong.
did.
That's just absolutely wrong.
Number 1, I think we have a tie for number 1.
Okay.
The Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field
Well, sure.
And
and the Boston Red
Yes.
Sox.
yes.
Fenway.
I wanted to put
Fenway.
Wrigley and Fenway in the top 5, but I was just trying to go more for the vibes of the stadium and not the history. But Wrigley's Wrigley, Fenway's Fenway. You gotta
Exactly.
love it.
Of
Exactly.
course.
Boom. That gets me into mine as well, and we'll touch on that.
Yes, I'm ready.
My number 5 we've been outside of, but we haven't been
Well,
inside
we've
yet.
been outside of 2 stadiums.
Right, we've been outside of it, and we've gone into the shop,
Oh.
Oracle Park in San Francisco.
We've also been in
Oracle.
another stadium. We've been in their shop.
Yep. I mean, just
Oracle. I mean,
you got San Francisco Bay right there. You have just ridiculously good seating all over. You have the big Coca-Cola bottle
they can slide
That's
down.
awesome.
that you can
You
slide
have the
in.
big glove.
Yep. Man.
Unbeatable.
Part-time travelers, I think you're following through. They walked him last game talking about Miguel Cabrera and then Austin Meadows making him pay with an RBI hit. Boom. True. And your stadium over there, Comerica, is fantastic as well. My number 4 is Wrigley. It's Wrigley. It's the tradition. It's the Ivy.
I love Wrigley.
It's the history of that place. It's the big city feel. The fact that you can, that you probably ought to take the Red Line train and you literally like walk off the Red Line train and you're there.
And the Wrigley rooftops.
The Wrigley rooftops.
The beloved, as the Brewers fans might call it, the beloved Steve Bartman seat.
Yep. And just the intimacy. It is literally within one city block.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so, everything is so close. I mean, it's like what you would dream of an old school park. Except for number 3, which you brought up. Fenway. It's all the same stuff.
Which, of course, props to Fenway Chris.
Yeah.
Give his round of applause.
Yes.
With Zach Campbell, who, I mean, go check out that video, our latest vlog.
I just had to mention Fenway.
Oh, I watched that while I was eating my breakfast before I went to school.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Nick going for fan of the year.
you've got the Green Monster.
That award.
I mean, Wrigley doesn't have the Green Monster. It's this historic target. It's crazy angles of the outfield wall, which were built that way to maximize fan seating within a very small space,
And there's
which
nothing.
I love.
There's nothing like when a ball goes over the Green Monster and hits a car.
Exactly.
That's
I mean, you
awesome.
can do that in those stadiums. Same thing with Wrigley. That can happen.
You can't hit it on the Waveland Avenue in most places.
Exactly. Those are so rare. And the history, they've had more championships there. They've had a lot more World Series there than at Wrigley, which is why I give it that.
That's true.
Number 2 for me has got to be PNC Park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He mentioned a lot of the great reasons why. Its downtown feel, its view is off the charts. If you go check out our vlog from last year when we went to see Brewers Pirates out there, I mean, there is a lot of stuff to do around the
Those are
stadium.
Brewers Pirates vlogs.
Yeah. But also the food there. The barbecue pierogi sandwich at Manny's Grill in center field. Oh, my gosh, so good. So
They got
good.
some good food there.
Yeah. And the fans were just fantastic to us. So
love
friendly.
it. Same in Arizona, Chase Field.
Yeah.
What nice people.
But number 1 for me, I'm biased.
Others say
It's
that.
Miller Park
I mean, yeah.
because
It's there's nothing like walking into that place, going up to the top deck, sitting behind home plate, and just sitting back, relaxing. You feel, when I say earlier, I said I know Marquette like I know myself. I literally know where to go for every little thing in Miller Park. I could give people tours during games around that place because I know it like the back of my hand.
and there are so many things that speak of home. And maybe I'm talking about this also because we're not home and we're making a new home here in Philadelphia. But it's the things that are familiar to you that are part of your childhood growing up that still remain from the old days of County Stadium. And the experiences of going to a game and the experiences bring up who you are. And yes, we also have Dog Day, I think, there. Maybe they don't. I'm not sure if they do, actually.
They do?
Hey, excuse me, mister.
Which dog is it?
Please stop barking. Both of them.
Oh,
That's okay.
it's macaroni
That's okay.
and I'm forgetting the other one's name.
Yeah.
But it's the same reason, Nick, why you're probably going to be biased for the bank as your favorite place as you grow up, because it's home. It's where memory is built. It's what molds you. And that's why. And I can understand why anyone would be that way. Plus the tailgating is the best in baseball. And the food,
tomorrow.
best in baseball. I mean, a bratwurst with secret stadium sauce, warm secret stadium sauce, and warm sauerkraut is like literally eating a stick of meat butter. It is that good.
Yes, actually, Stephen and Andy. It is macaroni ice cream truck.
That's awesome. It is awesome. Boom. And primetime travelers, you've been to Three Rivers, Riverfront, the Kingdome, Comerica, which we loved, the Trop in Tampa Bay, which we have not been to yet.
We've been to the side of Tiger Stadium, though.
Yes, we played catch at the Tiger Stadium site. So amazing. So awesome to be able to play catch where Babe Ruth hit baseballs out of. Just special. Just special. Similar episode coming up, by the way, from our travels in Baltimore. You're going to see that coming up on Tuesday.
What was your top 5 list?
My top five
Oh,
list.
top 5 places. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 5 places to see whatever it is that you love. Now, it's sort of similar to the baseball stadium list, but you can expand it, Nick, to any particular subject matter of what you love.
Yeah.
So what would you, just off the top of your head, what would you put there?
The Wells Fargo Center. Together we'll go far. The bank. I feel like Madison Square Garden would be up there.
Oh, yeah.
Just to watch a basketball game, a hockey game. For another basketball game, I would go with TD Garden.
Ooh, I wish I could have gone to the old Boston Garden. Man.
What about football? Well, what's your
football. The link.
College.
The link has to be for college and for NFL.
That's true.
Eagles.
Temple plays there as well.
It's just a great spot. Yes.
And Wells Fargo Center. Not many people know. Philadelphia Wings play there. Lacrosse. Had to give the shout out because Nick is a lacrosse fan. So
I am gonna be that season ticket holder, dude.
Oh, Riverfront, the old circular stadium from 1970, but it's part of home for primetime travelers. Getting to see Pete Rose go after 4,000 hits. That's awesome. What's like the most historic event or chase that you've ever witnessed in person?
Me, LeBron James passing Kobe Bryant's all-time scoring record the day before Kobe Bryant died.
Oh my gosh!
When Kobe was in the arena.
Yeah, that was probably my greatest milestone that I've watched in person.
So wait a minute. So Kobe was in Philly.
He was in Philly watching the game,
and then flew to LA.
And then
the helicopter accident.
And his daughter was with him in Philly. Gianna was with him.
Oh my gosh!
They were sitting there courtside watching the game.
Wow!
I remember all of that game. Because Caruso was throwing it off of the backboard. LeBron was doing 360 dunks. It was insane. I mean, it's not every day that you get to see arguably the greatest player of all time play.
With another one there. I mean,
with another one there.
My gosh, that is awesome. All right, last comment here before we got head out.
Yeah.
Kingdom in Seattle to see your Tigers play, and Griffey Jr.'s rookie year. Dad caught a home run ball.
Hey.
That's so cool. One-handed and didn't drop any of the spear. That takes skill. That is the perfect way to sign it off.
Yes. And
Agreed.
Nick, we will see you very soon.
Stephen, Andie,
see you soon.
So awesome for you to join us at the start of this chat. To begin our top fives, and Nick, what a way to come out of the bullpen and finish it off.
Yes.
Yep.
Great job, man. We will be seeing you in just a little bit. Everyone else, we will be seeing you soon. Go subscribe to Stephen and Andie. Subscribe to each other, all of you in the chat.
Everyone, go here.
And
that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing after this. I'm going to subscribe to Stephen and Andie.
Yeah, we loved having you on, Stephen and Andie. Can't wait to meet you in person at some point, hopefully soon. And check out our vlog coming up on Tuesday.
I'll
bit
end it with my Bon Jovi book
history as we head to Memorial Stadium, the site of Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. For Nick the Legend, for Little Buddy, I'm Daddy.
So
long
from Sorgy Stories
Studios
in
Philadelphia.
See ya, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
Great timing.